在你家里住了11个朋友，那你家的房子得多大呀？
告诉他多大？
那是租的。
我在上海工作的呀，那你会为了我去上海吗？
不会。
This is, without a doubt, the most direct and inflexible man who has ever appeared on a dating show stage. Alone, he managed to transform the setting of a date into a stand-up comedy monologue, leaving the audience amazed and even winning a public declaration of love from host Meng, and has achieved financial freedom. He was once the owner of a coal mine and is now entering the real estate market, taking advantage of all opportunities that arise. This extraordinary and impressive resume naturally sparked the interest of Meng. The man responded directly that he wanted to get married next year. When confronted about how he would find time for that while focusing entirely on his business, he answered without hesitation that he would dedicate the nights to love. The young man's frank response provoked laughter from everyone present. In fact, upon closer analysis, the young man's logic wasn't wrong. For him, focusing on work during the day and on love at night, without one interfering with the other, seemed a perfectly reasonable approach. However, it was evident that he hadn't understood the deeper meaning behind the participants' about her and call, and how long each call would last. This series of questions could be considered one of the greatest challenges of the century. The young man hesitated briefly for 2 seconds before giving a simple and direct answer, stating that the duration of the calls didn't matter. He laughed and asked if she surrendered, demonstrating his business mindset. While others were still processing the questions, he had already identified the core of the issue. The atmosphere became slightly awkward, but the participant, being experienced, wasn't intimidated and continued questioning his nighttime. This sudden promise left the participant speechless. While she appeared embarrassed and hesitant, another participant intervened with a question about the habit of men from Beijing to tease others, wanting to know if he also had this behavior. The young man frankly responded that he didn't like others teasing him. When specifically asked if he would tease someone a little overweight, he responded with a simple no. The young man's response was genuinely sincere. He was not only handsome and wealthy, but also honest and simple. These qualities quickly attracted the attention of a participant who considered herself very beautiful, who made a declaration of love with a sweet voice. When she mentioned that she worked in Shanghai and asked if he would move there for her, he directly responded that he would not. His sharp words fell like a slap in the face. Even through the screen, the participant's embarrassment was palpable. However, the young man's direct speech won the heart of host Meng Fei. Meng Fei expressed his admiration for this type of male participant. He commented on how surprising it was that such a direct man won the hearts of so many girls. One participant observed that he was a very cheerful boy, a characteristic that she greatly appreciated. The activities he used to do no longer provided him with the same stimulation, and that he was on the program for that reason. Lu Jiao insisted, questioning why it wasn't fun and what exactly wasn't things. As an example, he mentioned that after breaking up with his last girlfriend, he felt very sad, but now he no longer remembered how they met or how they broke up. He confessed to liking lively environments and fearing solitude, which is why he lived with 11 other people, describing the environment as a very fun collective lodging. This special ability was certainly beneficial to him, after all, the white moon in someone's heart. Therefore, after the video, 3 participants chose to turn off their lights. The next participant asked a direct question about the size of his house, since he had mentioned living with 11 friends. He responded in a serious but strangely vague manner, saying only that the house was large and rented. The unusual response provoked laughter from the audience, while the young man, confused, simply explained that he liked living with friends and appreciated the lively atmosphere. Some participants expressed distrust, questioning how someone who described himself as stingy would accept living with so many people. When asked if he didn't mind others eating and using his things, he explained that his stinginess had no relation to that. He clarified that he paid the rent, bought the food, and drove the car, and that his friends also had their own cars. At this point, everyone understood that when he referred to being stingy, he was specifically talking about jealousy in relationships. He quickly exemplified by saying that he would simply ignore her. A young man so pure, cute, and rich naturally aroused the interest of the participants, who were visibly enchanted. Finally, the moment of choice arrived. Before the participants could present themselves, the young man requested to see their everyday photos. As all were wearing makeup on the program, this request caused panic among the participants. The host suggested, jokingly, giving them 20 minutes to remove their makeup, a proposal that the young man readily accepted. It was evident that the young man had no embarrassment regarding women, leaving the host, who only intended to make a joke, not knowing how to react. When asked if he really wanted to see them without makeup, he admitted that he was just joking and didn't expect the young man to take it seriously, acknowledging that, as a host, he should be careful with his words, as demonstrating true professionalism. The host managed to navigate the embarrassing situation skillfully. Soon came the moment for the young man's questions, who surprised everyone by asking who would like to accompany him to Beijing. Before the participants could react, he complimented by informing that he would leave that same night, with a flight scheduled for 8 p.m. This bossy CEO style left the girls momentarily speechless. The participant who had aroused his interest responded indirectly, suggesting that if they were together, they would certainly have many fights, to the point where her cell phone would be destroyed multiple times. The participant's message was clear. She had many options and wasn't willing to give them all up for a single person. Noticing the situation, she happily declared that she would take him away and that she was very happy, with the ticket already reserved. Fortunately, the young man maintained his lucidity at the crucial moment and managed to win the girl he desired, to the relief of the host, who had been worried throughout the program. Throughout the entire dating process, such a direct and inflexible man managed to find love. The question remains, were the participants interested in him due to his frank personality or his wealth?
Now, leave a comment about what you think of this man's participation in the show. He was one of the contestants I enjoyed watching the most. I made a brief summary of what happened on the show, but it's much funnier in the original version. Since I can't just take the whole video and add subtitles, I tried to make a short recap of what happened. If you like this kind of content, I really recommend learning a bit of Chinese. Chinese platforms have a lot of interesting content, and their culture is completely different from ours. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.